By now, you've likely seen the new CDC report that's circulating about an increase in autism rates among children. It's getting a lot of coverage, and some of the coverage is, well, not positive, and some of it is colored by the fact that the current head of human health is an anti-science lunatic with an actual real-life brain worm, and who has said that that worm has eaten some of his brain. The guy with the worm said that it's eaten some of his brain. So let's quickly break down what the CDC report is actually saying and what we should take from it. Stick around. The new report is based on survey data from 2022, so by now it's probably even outdated. By now, maybe even 1 out of every 2 people has autism, or maybe we all have autism. So what is going on here? Why such a massive increase? Okay, so by the way, the real number is 1 in 31 children are on the spectrum on average, and this ranges from about 10 in 1,000 in Laredo, Texas, to about 53 in 1,000 in the state of California. You may think, like I did, wow, that's a very specific location, and that's because we get this data from the Autism and Developmental Disabilities Monitoring Network, and this is a program that's set up in 16 states as of 2022 to measure the prevalence of autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, in children aged 4 to 8. Laredo is just one of 2 locations in Texas where the program operates. So what's happening? Why do all of our kids have autism now? Are Alex Jones and RFK Jr. right? Is it the fluoride or the vaccines? And the answer to that is no, it most definitely is not any of those things. And we know this because these are some of the most thoroughly debunked conspiracy theories that ever did conspire. You can believe me or not, I wouldn't, so here's all the data. I'll give you a little bit of time with that, and you can also see all of the sources for this episode down in the didgeridoodles. The actual reason that we're finding more ASD in children is because we're testing more children. Remember when Trump said that the numbers of COVID infections would go down if we stopped testing? Well, it's like that.
If you don't test, you don't have any cases. If we stop testing right now, we'd have very few cases, if any.
With the Autism and Developmental Disabilities Monitoring Network, we're testing more frequently all the time, so the rates are increasing all the time. The other vital piece of this is that we know more about ASD and we're better at diagnosing it. Many behavioral or developmental obstacles are now known to be symptoms of ASD, and lots of other symptoms that went unnoticed are now being fully recognized for what they are. So we're testing more and we're better at finding it. So of course the rates are going up. Bottom line is that if we had the same research and diagnostic technology in cave people days, we'd find the same prevalence of ASD throughout the population.
If you don't test, you don't have any cases.
The real objectively factual rate has very likely never changed throughout the history of our species. We're just much better at finding it now. It was autism, it was Asperger's, it was pervasive developmental disorder, it was childhood disintegrative disorder, and it was Rett syndrome. As our understanding and scientific data have evolved, all of these separate things have also evolved into or even out of a specific condition called autism spectrum disorder. And this accumulation of once independent conditions means that there are more people with ASD now. We've just simplified the name of the condition that used to be all of these conditions that all of these different people used to have, and now it's just one thing. And there's also all the advocacy work from parents and those on the spectrum that's gone into increasing awareness of symptoms. And this has led to more people understanding their own internal neurospiciness and then getting diagnosed themselves. This was a big trend on TikTok recently, and while I was personally skeptical at first because social media, it's led to some people in my life finding explanations for things through diagnoses that's helped improve their lives significantly. Small disclaimer about that though, please don't self-diagnose via TikTok. If you see things on social media or elsewhere that resonate with certain aspects of yourself, make sure to see a real therapist or a psychiatrist in order to get the legitimate healthcare that can actually improve your life. The final thing to touch on is the idea that some external factor is truly causing more people to be placed on the autism spectrum. We know from all of the data and the information, that some of which we've just been over, that this cannot possibly be true. In fact, autism rates have increased consistently regardless of whatever boogeyman chemicals the disgraced grifters complain about, or in vaccines or in the water, or like thimerosal, a constant anti-vaxxer target that people will not give up on as some kind of link between vaccines and autism. But thimerosal thimerosal hasn't been in childhood vaccines since the year 1999. Please don't listen to people who are not doctors or, better yet, medical researchers about these things. Don't listen to RFK Jr., who's already commented and gone on about how autistic people can't use the bathroom by themselves or will never have a job or go on a date. The guy is unequivocally wrong, and all of that is frankly beyond insulting even, and in a normal world it would sink him and we'd never hear from him again because that's legitimately crazy talk. Unfortunately, we're going to be surrounded by lunacy just like this in the next few years, and opinions about this report and others like it are going to be off the walls bananas, and they're going to be everywhere. And real science and data is going to be harder and harder to keep track of or even find at all in a lot of cases. We're going to have to put in the legwork to do what we can going forward, and we might not always get it right. Even trusted resources that you've come to rely on won't always get it right. Re-evaluation and re-examination is necessary for an operative and functional society to progress. So progress with me, if you will, to my next video. And in order to do that most effectively, please like and subscribe to the channel. And let me know in the comments if there's anything specifically you'd like me to cover. This video came at the request of my Reddit buddy, PM me your favorite hike, who's doing some really great work over there with posts about skeptical analysis on a variety of topics. I'll see you in the next video. In the meantime, let's do some good about understanding what studies actually say and not falling for the over-the-top misinformation from fear-mongering grifters, many of whom unfortunately work for the current government. Take care of yourselves out there. It's gonna be a long few years. Disintegrative? Give it to me.
Disintegrative.
Disintegrative. That's what I said the first time. All right. And rough.